This is what rush hour looks like in Jakarta. These sorts of scenes are normal for people here who live here and work here on a daily basis. Traffic like this means that you could be stuck in your car for up to an hour. And if it rains, it could get much, much worse. It doesn't look like things could change anytime soon, though. Reports say that Jakarta could be in a state of total paralysis by 2011, which is why some in this city have come up with creative ways to beat the traffic. Meet Jakarta's jockeys. There are strict traffic regulations about how many people you need to have in your car when you enter the central business district in Jakarta during rush hour. You need to have 3 passengers or more. So these people make up those extra passengers, but for a price. But this is illegal, and there are harsh punishments involved for those who get caught. This is Musnia. She and her 3-year-old son have been working as jockeys on Jakarta's streets for the last 3 months. The 2 of them count as 2 passengers, so she says that she often charges the price of 1 for 2 people. Ibu Musnia, bisa bilang sama saya kenapa Anda bikin ini kerja kayak joki dan bisa bikin berapa sehari? How much can you charge in a day, and why do you do this?
I can make about $3 or $4 a day doing this job. I don't have much of a choice. There aren't any other jobs I can get. I have to help my husband look after our family.
But if cars aren't your thing, then what about this? Motorcycle taxis, or ojeks as they're known here in Jakarta, have become very popular with passengers who are looking to weave in and out of the traffic. But these motorcycles are unlicensed. They don't have the permission to ferry passengers around the city, so they have to be very careful about where they do business. Nasuhan has been an ojek driver for the last 2 decades, but it's getting harder and harder for him to do this job because it's an unlicensed trade. So he's got to look out for police lurking around every corner, and there's far more competition than there used to be. Motorcycles are so much cheaper these days. Pak Nasuhan, sekarang lebih sulit untuk bikin kerja ini. Is it harder to do this job these days?
Betul, lebih sulit daripada dulu. Kalau dulu
it's getting harder and harder to do this job. I may have more customers than I used to, but my expenses are much higher than my earnings. It's impossible to make ends meet.
But if you can't afford a car or a motorcycle taxi, then this is usually the way most Jakartans get around. It's the public bus system, but it's always very crowded, and you can still be stuck in traffic for hours at a time. How long do you reckon it takes you on a normal day to get back from your office to your home?
Normally it will take about an hour or 2, but in weekend you can take about 4 hours to get home.
And what's the reason for that? Is it mainly the traffic, or what else?
Mainly the traffic, because there's too many cars out there, so yeah, it's gonna be very, very crowded in the street.
So as you've seen, it's not easy living or working in Jakarta. Critics say that for this problem to be really solved, the government needs to put in place a comprehensive public transport system, the way that Singapore or Bangkok has. But those plans have been in the works for some time, and nothing has really materialized. Until then, people in Jakarta will have to find new ways of beating the traffic.